For this challenge, you're going to create a method inside the widget service to get widgets. It says widgets.json right there, but I'll give you the URL where it is. It's actually the same URL for the items, except for it's the widgets resource. So it's just 3001/widgets. That's the URL. And I'll put it up in a minute. And then kind of like what we just did, that method that you made, I need you to return it from that service and subscribe to it in the widgets component or the widgets list component or whatever component you're going to be in. Subscribe to that and get access to the data. And then if you want to, you don't have to. If you want to change it to a promise and check it out that way, change it to a promise, make sure it's still working, and go that way. And then for bonus, because the JSON server does accept posts, create another method to post a new widget to the server. It's the same URL, just a post verb. So before you get started, what you have to do, if you go into your repo and you go to db.json, just make sure underneath this items array or above it, just make a new entry called widgets and set it equal to an array. And you might have to restart your Webpack if that happens to reinitialize the server. It actually might work without it. It might create the widgets if you try to post it, but just to be safe, I would do this. So again, just add a new entry on this JSON file called widgets, set it equal to an empty array. The JSON server command line tool reads this file like a database. It's a live file that it writes to. If you issue a delete request to this JSON server, it will delete it from file. If you issue a post request to the JSON server, it will write to this file. So it's a live file. And once you have all that, like I said, you might have to restart. But yeah, and the URL is just port 3000/widgets, just like it is for items, port 3000, oh, 3001, I'm sorry, 3001. Oh, no, wait, it's 3000. Okay. Wait, no, it's 3000.
Yeah, 3000 for the database, 3001.
Yeah, so it's 3000 for the database, 3000 for the app. Sorry about that. So yeah, the URL is going to be the 3000, whichever, or whatever port you configured to be on. But by default, it's 3000 for the JSON server. The same URL that's in the item services. If you're looking at item services, it's that URL, but with the widgets. It's the resource name. It's whatever resource name you put in that db.json file that we just put. Because we put widgets, the JSON server exposed this as a resources URL for us. Whatever you put here, if you put cookies, you can now go to /cookies.